I did it. I found the 10 best altcoins you can buy for $10, especially before this election sends the market through the roof. As many of you know, where Bitcoin leads, altcoins follow. And election time is bringing a lot of hype back into the market with Trump coming out as pro-crypto. But what coins will actually pump? First, there's an obvious one that needs way more attention than it's getting, MAGA. MAGA is the meme coin based on Trump himself. Now, whether you like Trump or not, that's not really relevant here. What I want you to look at is a few important dates. The 27th and 28th of June and July 13th and 14th. Price spiked on both of those date ranges. Why? June dates were the debate.
Quite smart.
And the July dates were this.
Take a look what happened.
All of a sudden, bullets start flying. A historic moment in US politics. And if we go even further back to the 25th of May, you can see MAGA pump from $8 to over $16 in a few days. Why? Trump declared his support for crypto on those days. The concept here is extremely simple. The MAGA meme coin reacts to anything this man says, does, or gets involved in. So what do you bet will happen to this token if he wins the election?
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Now just hold on a second. Obviously this is gambling, so let's be clear. This is straight up financial Russian roulette. You've put it in the gun, you're aiming it. None of this is financial advice. You're insane to listen to me. These are just my thoughts on where the market is headed by keeping my ear to the ground. But with that in mind, if I'm putting $10 anywhere, this is one of my first targets. A little caveat though, look at each pump that I've shown. MAGA is super twitchy and people cash out on profits really fast. So if you do buy this token and Trump gets elected or some big event, take your profits ASAP because the sell-off will follow quick and you will be eaten if you aren't ready. So just be aware, but that's just one coin. In this video, I'm gonna take you through the exact coins I'm looking at for this bull run, why I'm looking at them, the strategy I'm using to stay safe, how high I think these coins will go, and why Bitcoin will be the driving force behind all of this. And in fact, I'm gonna start right there, Bitcoin, because this is one of the most solid opportunities we have right now. Alongside the election, recent headlines are signaling the hype is heading back into crypto. Now, this is the time to dive in. Like, frankly, it's time to dive in before this pops off. There's no shortage of effective strategies to get into Bitcoin and make some money in this next market. You could buy and hold, you could ride the pump. I mean, you could do that right now with no assistance. Start dollar cost averaging in, and chances are over time, this asset class will do quite well. I mean, just look at price predictions from basically any bank or institution. If you're willing to hold long term, you're gonna be sitting pretty good. But I wanna let you in on a different strategy. Over on Finova, we use a totally different idea. When trading with small amounts like $10 or just 1% of your portfolio and following clear trading rules, you could grow that $10 into $20 or $30 daily. Now that doesn't sound like much up front, but these wins, they compound on each other. And it's just simply the safest way to grow your portfolio with trading. Day by day, growing a small piece of your pot that is the trading portion of your pot. It really is that simple. And it means you can get results like this, or even this. This strategy is used every single day on Finova thanks to our head of research who has really implemented this strategy and woven it into our fabric here at Finova. Kyle, he has a win rate of over 87% across hundreds of trades, and really, I don't know what to tell you, it just works. His personal portfolio returns, they average more than $2,000 a day in profits, and we have tons of other members who are just literally taking this formula, replicating it, and making money on their own. What's amazing is that Kyle and our coaches, they share their trades live, so you can follow their rules and their approaches in real time, and you can decide, does this make sense for my individual strategy? If you want to get involved, hit the link below and grab a spot before they sell out. We limit spots so we can properly onboard everyone and make sure they have exactly what they need. I'm so confident in this service that if you sign up and it isn't 100% for you, request a refund, we'll give you a refund, no questions asked.
It's that simple.
Now with Bitcoin primed to pump, you need to understand it's going to bring the rest of the market up with it. That means altcoins are going to go from deep in the red to way up in the green, but history shows that some alts will pump more than others. Here's the ones that I'm looking at. Immutable. Immutable is a developer and publisher of Web3 games, and it's waiting for its moment in the sun. Now, while it had a crazy pump from 2020 to 2021, it's sort of floundered ever since, crawling around in the red. Maybe on its initial look, it doesn't look that promising, but let's just hold on a second. Let's take a deeper look. Let's look at the project itself and see if we can find any pieces of gold here, because we got a bunch of really promising signs. It's a gaming crypto that's actually tied to a bunch of real games. It's a gaming company that's tied to a bunch of gaming companies like Ubisoft and GameStop, and it facilitates the development of new projects on the platform. Combine that with the fact that Immutable has already shown potential to pump over 25x in a bull run, and you have some pretty promising signs that money could flood back into this. I like to picture it this way: a flood of greedy investors FOMOing to the market. You know, they were into crypto in the last cycle. You know, they see the market pumping, they see their friends tweeting about how much money they're making. They're going, oh my God, I need to get back in. I'm not going to miss out this time. Where are those people going to flood? Where are they going to invest? The simple answer is an understandable product with a good narrative and a cheap price. Like something that just makes sense and seems like an opportunity. That's where the money flows. But just hold on a second, because, you know, well, the potential upside of coin pumps, especially in the alts, that's huge. That could change your life. But if you get it wrong, you could lose everything. Plenty of people have lost everything betting the house on some altcoin because they weren't careful. There is always an inherent insane risk to altcoins like these. Now, that doesn't mean you can't lower that risk using, you know, specific strategies. There's a strategy I like to apply in situations like this. If your investing strategy includes hyper aggressive picks like altcoins, you know, could have a 25x potential, and you know, the risk that's associated with a 25x potential, meaning it's extremely high risk, nothing is going to get you 25x unless it is extremely high risk just by default. I couple that with a balance of a large majority of incredibly low risk investments, like very broad index funds, treasury bills, bonds, and then I ratio that out in a super simple manner, like 90% safe, 10% risky, or 80% safe, 20% risky, to balance out that portfolio. Some people call that the barbell strategy, so you're balancing things out. People made fun of me for doing exactly this, and they'll probably make fun of you too. I currently hold about $450,000 in treasury bonds, about the safest investment you can possibly have. The return isn't crazy, it's like just over 5%. But why am I doing this? Because of the inherent risk of what I do. I'm honest with the reality of the world that I live in. I own startups and I buy crypto, and I have Caribbean beachfront property. It would be unwise for me to not balance that out, to not balance out the risk in what I'm doing. So yeah, I should have some safe investments. Doing this just makes your portfolio more robust. It puts you in a position to secure potential upside from, you know, wild pumps, the 25x gains, while also making sure that you're not going to lose everything. It's just the smarter way to do things. So do you want to make risky bets that are get rich quick but probably lose everything, or do you want to become a multimillionaire one step at a time and be patient with it?
That's up to you.
Now, returning to altcoins, another one worth checking out is Gala, a gaming platform. I like it for similar reasons to Immutable, but there's a few key differences that you need to know. First, it's got the same fundamentals. In 2021, that bull run caused a 35x pump, massive. The price action though, ever since, it's been crawling, not great. The project, it's tied to a bunch of interesting sub-projects, you know, things in film, music, gaming. Like, sure, their games look like microtransaction hell. They do. But we have to be honest with reality here. Microtransactions are also the most dominant business model in gaming. Like billions of dollars made from this.
$1 billion?
Again, this is all super attractive for retail investors chasing coins that they're FOMOing into the market. You know, where's that flood going? Where can they ride a pump? That said, there's still the same level of risk though. Even if the election acts as this bull run catalyst, there's no guarantee that it's going to 35x again, but the potential is there for some serious growth. Arkham. Now, I used Arkham in another video to hunt down Andrew Tate's crypto wallet. It's been a cool project, but in 2024, it's been acting kind of weird for some reason. The market, it just can't seem to get behind it. Earlier this year, we saw a big pump to $4, but since then, it's been all over the place. It's been acting up. Here's why I like it. Arkham has a really interesting use case. It lets you easily see and track what other people are doing with their crypto. Like, that will never not be interesting to see where money is flowing. They've tracked governments, they've tracked companies. They do it quite well. Like, if you use it, you're like, this is pretty interesting. They recently integrated with Coinbase, which of course, Coinbase is a big name to get tied to as a project, so that's a great sign. It's no surprise that I'm still bullish on them for the bull run, and I think retail investors will see this press, they'll see Coinbase getting involved, and that'll give them the confidence to flood that money straight into the project. There are 3 more AI coins that I've been looking at. There's Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, which sounds a lot like a failed superhero team. I don't know what's up with the naming on these ones. In reality, It's a one-stop shop deployment service for AI products. So I'm focusing more on use case than name here. Whatever. Then there's Signally, another weird name, but this is also a good AI pick that traders can potentially use to make money. And there's ARC Block, which is all about helping people create decentralized apps. So we have tools. I like tools. I like things that are legitimate business models. Now, like Arkham, all three are interesting projects with solid use cases. I like solid use cases. I like business models that just make sense. Signally might be promising more than it can actually deliver, but I'm not too worried about that right now. Again, the principle here is whether these can be attractive magnets for investors in a bull run to flood into. All three of them have the juice to get things moving. It's up to you to decide, does that make sense for your individual strategy? Now, if we roll back to Artificial Superintelligence Alliance,
Quite smart.
you can see it over 16x'd this year. That's crazy, of course. So it's not quite as exciting as Immutable or Gala for potential future returns, but it's shown potential as people are willing to get behind this project, and more could definitely flood in. Now, Signally, in contrast, has had some wild price action. I'd forgive you for counting this one out as a dud. It might be, but it's got a unique enough use case that I can see people getting behind it if the market rallies. So should you invest in it? I'm not sure. It's your risk. It's an interesting one. It could go wild or it could go nowhere. High risk, high potential reward. ARC Block is a little bit more robust. Just like Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, it's 7x'd big time earlier this year. It's proven that value, and it's a rock solid project with a clear value proposition. I love clarity when I'm analyzing projects. Any of these could be interesting picks for $3 bets. And I know token price doesn't matter, market cap matters, but this is an interesting way to categorize tokens. As I said at the start, MAGA is the one that I'd be watching right now for obvious reasons. Couple that with some smart Bitcoin plays and you could be looking at pretty reliable returns through this next bull market. And as I said, by taking small amounts under $10 in the right conditions, you can compound your money day by day. Again, our head of research at Finova, Kyle, he uses this strategy every day. I'm seeing these wins every day. He only trades with 1% of his overall account. That might sound small and too risk averse, but it's not. That is the strategy that helped him earn over $2.7 million in profit trading crypto. Finova will be linked down below. Love you. Bye.